Have you ever heard of places where the weirdness just never seems to end? Welcome back to Beyond the Hub podcast. I'm Nick.
And I'm Brandon. Today, we're concluding our three-part series on paranormal triangles, with a deep dive into some of the lesser-known but equally eerie hotspots all around the world.
Join us as we explore the mysteries of these global triangles of terror. From Massachusetts to Australia to Scotland and beyond the hub. It's going to be a wild ride. Let's just hope we don't go missing. We still have next week's episode to film. Let's start off with the Bridgewater Triangle in Massachusetts. This area has a reputation for all sorts of paranormal activity, including sightings of cryptids like Bigfoot. And we also have UFOs and various supernatural phenomena. Brandon, what stands out to you about the Bridgewater Triangle?
The Bridgewater Triangle is really intriguing to me because it's a hotspot for a very wide range of paranormal activity. Did you know that one of the most famous reports involves a creature called the Pukwudgie, a small troll-like being from Wampanoag folklore? These creatures are said to be mischievous and even malevolent at times. Wait a second, didn't you talk about that in a different episode? Maybe the episode that's in the Weekly Mystery Corner playlist in the description of this video?
You know what? I think I did.
Yeah, you really go deep on those Pukwudgies. But I've also heard of, I believe, I really hope I'm not getting this wrong, but I believe I heard of an encounter in the Bridgewater Triangle where these two guys were going fishing and they witnessed a dog man fighting a large reptilian humanoid rake-like creature in the swamp. I think that's a Hockomock swamp.
That's it.
That's the Bridgewater Triangle? Yeah, the Hockomock swamp. Yep.
What was that guy that reached out to us and about that kind of, what was that pterodactyl looking thing?
Yep, that was the Thunderbird.
Thunderbird. Yep. That was a crazy story too.
That's in the Bridgewater Triangle as well, isn't it? There's a large variety of paranormal weird things there. And I can't really do justice to this encounter that I heard of the reptilian rake fighting the dog man in the swamp while these men were half a football field away from him, 50 yards away. I really, maybe I'll bring it up in detail on another episode. It was a very fascinating encounter that these two men shared. One of them was ready to shoot. The other one was ready to not. And it's like, we should just, get out of here. And the other guy was like, nah, I gotta shoot this guy. And yeah, there's details about the fight. There's details about the damage each other incurred to one another of the cryptids that were fighting. It's crazy. Cryptid fights, cryptid wars, man. It's crazy. I think I might have heard that one on Paranormal Roundtable, I believe. I think the guy's name is Josh Turner. He hosts a show similar to ours, but he more talks about like very crazy cryptid encounters, like mainly. Yeah, that one was crazy. And then when I heard Hockomock Swamp, I was like, what? Why is so much stuff happening here? And then I heard in another one, this might have been the Confessionals, really diving deep on the Bridgewater Triangle investigations over there. This is maybe one that I'd be a little bit more interested in investigating because it's not like, disappearances of large crafts and vessels holding lots of people. It's more just increased paranormal activity within this triangle that's formed on a map. That's more interesting to me. But with all of that being said, let's continue on. There have also been numerous reports of UFO sightings, including a particularly famous sighting in 1979 where two police officers witnessed a large, brightly lit object hovering over a field.
Now, it's interesting that you say like the two police officers. So that's like their weight carries a little bit more in a sense when people want to like hear stories like, oh, well, that's Joe Schmo or but honestly, I think everyone's opinion matters. But you got these guys that are sworn in and that's their career on the line publicly.
Yeah.
In that job. Too.
Yeah. I think that police officer testimony and of their accounts of their experiences I think they do hold a little bit more weight because of, like you said, their career being on the line, but also in lots of these encounters I've heard of where they have talked to police about things, police seem overly biased to believe that there's nothing paranormal or supernatural that is capable of happening. So if one of them is actually being brought over to the considering paranormal explanation or supernatural explanation side, that means that it really had to shake them.
And the fact that they have to write these reports. And
Yeah.
if they got that, like, that's falsifying a report.
Yeah.
Because they're literally writing about what they saw. Like, they can lose their jobs just for falsifying that.
And somebody can accuse them of falsifying it because they're like, there's no such thing as werewolves. What are you doing, man? I heard of one story where police are involved where the police knew of these reports, but they act as if they're not real because of that exact thing, that they can't really include them in a report because it's not widely accepted to be real. But there was this, I believe, this construction site that these guys that were sharing the story, they were working at overnight. They were like the overnight security shift for the construction site. And they encountered, like 20 feet away, a dogman werewolf type thing. And it was snarling at them, and they like ran away from it, and they called the cops and told the cops, and the one cop that reported to the scene was like, oh yeah, did it have this, and the guy who was telling the story was like, yeah, the cop wasn't shocked that I was telling him any of this. He was actually filling in some of the blanks before I could even get there, because there have been numerous reports of this exact creature in the site. And even the owner of the construction site was like, we don't talk about this because nobody wants to work here once they find out. Like, that's crazy, man. These cops are like, that cop at least was like, I believe you, man, but I can't
say I believe you.
I can't say I believe you publicly. So that's what's really interesting to me.
Well, it's also is like the diversity of paranormal phenomena in the Bridgewater Triangle. It's really intriguing. I mean, you got ghostly apparitions, you got unexplained lights, and mysterious animal mutilations even. This place seems to defy explanation.
Yeah.
But what do you think? Could the wide range of paranormal activity in the Bridgewater Triangle be connected? Or are we looking at separate phenomena here? And share your thoughts in the comments.
I think they're all connected. I think this goes back to my theory of everything being connected to one central point where everything stems from. That's the central truth where, we're really looking for. And I think they're all connected. I think maybe not in a way where like the Bridgewater Triangle has dogman / werewolf encounters and Bigfoot sightings and UFO sightings and they're all the same thing. Not that, but maybe if you go back another step, their source of all of these things is the same source. Maybe they're all coming through a portal. Maybe they're different portals. Maybe they're the same portal. I don't know. I just absolutely think they are all connected.
Well, let's move on to the Bass Strait Triangle. And this area off the coast of Australia is notorious for maritime and aerial disappearances. Brendan, what is the most compelling case you have found out of the Bass Strait Triangle?
I think one of the most compelling and famous cases is the disappearance of Frederick Valentic, really butchering his last name. It was in 1978. Valentic was a 20-year-old pilot who vanished while flying over the Bass Strait. And before he disappeared, he reported seeing a large, unidentified aircraft with bright lights that seemed to be playing games with his plane. And this is what really... This gave me chills. His last transmission I found truly terrifying. He said, and I'm quoting him directly, "It's not an aircraft." End quote. So, he was close enough to this thing to determine that maybe it was a large living being, that alien craft that is living? I don't know. Despite an extensive search, there has never been a trace of Valentich or his plane that was ever to be found.
The Valentich case is definitely one of the most eerie disappearances over the Bass Strait Triangle. I mean, this region's treacherous waters and unpredictable weather may have also claimed many lives, or they have, but the frequency and nature of these incidents suggests that there is something more at play here.
So what about all you guys? Do you believe the disappearances in the Bass Strait Triangle can be explained by natural hazards? Or is there something truly more sinister at work? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below.
I think it's another triangle.
There's something about the triangles too.
Triangles.
That's a link that we really haven't researched to go into depth on this series. Is what is the significance of the shape of all of these weird areas being the triangle? Like, what is that significance? Maybe we'll save that for a future episode. Let us know if you guys want to hear, a little bit more about that, because there's definitely something to do with the fact that they're triangles. And I think typically they're isosceles triangles. For those of you who don't know, I believe the isosceles triangle has two sides that are the same length, and the side that connects the other two parts
is longer.
No, it's like a pizza slice. Pizza slice is like an isosceles.
So next, we're gonna head over to Scotland and the Falkirk Triangle, known for its high number of UFO sightings and unexplained phenomena. Brandon, what's your take on the Falkirk Triangle?
The Falkirk Triangle is often dubbed the UFO capital of the world, which, I can argue and say that's, maybe Roswell. But I'm just kidding. The most famous sighting in the Falkirk Triangle is the Bonnie Bridge incident.
The Bonnie Bridge?
Is it Bonnie? Bonnie?
Bonnie Bridge.
Bonnie? I think it's Bonnie. The Bonnie Bridge incident. In 1992, numerous residents of Bonnie Bridge reported seeing strange lights in the sky and unidentified flying objects, UFOs. Since then, sightings have continued regularly, leading many to believe this area is a hotspot for extraterrestrial activity.
Now, the consistent reports from credible witnesses makes the Falkirk Triangle a significant interest for UFO researchers. So whether these sightings are military experiments, atmospheric phenomena, or something else entirely, they certainly add to the mystery of it all. And speaking of mysteries, fans of the show Outlander might find this particularly interesting. The show, set in Scotland, revolves around characters traveling through time. Spoiler alert, unless you've not seen the first episode. They travel through time via ancient stone circles. So given the area's history of strange disappearances and mysterious phenomena, do you think Outlander might have been hinting at something more? Could there be portals hidden in the Falkirk Triangle, leading people to other times or dimensions? It's a good show.
You've seen it all?
Not all of it. I'm up to the last season, but
okay.
It's very interesting.
Is it like, is the production done? Like it's a series that has ended, or are they still ongoing with the filming? Oh, okay. Interesting.
But what do you all think? Are the strange phenomena in the Falkirk Triangle just a coincidence? Or could there be something more like the hidden portals as hinted in Outlander? Share your thoughts.
We've mentioned multiple times, at least my belief, and I think Nick is with me on this one, that Hollywood is telling us little hints of truth in fictional TV shows and movies, and I think this is yet another case where they're probably giving us little specks and hints of truth, just like Stranger Things, just like Twin Peaks, just like X-Files. There's just too many cases where things are too closely related to what people really suspect is real, and what the TV shows are saying. And I know there's skeptics out there that will just say, well, that's where they get the idea for the TV show from all these theories. I can appreciate the skepticism in those cases, but I'm skeptical of the government as a whole. Like I said, the large government. And I don't think that they have our best interest at heart. I think they have their continued existence's interest at heart. The
money.
The money. And in order, I think that's what's really driving them to these little spigots of truth. And CIA co-opted Hollywood. I believe it. Whether that gets this video flagged or not, I don't know. I don't care. I believe that they are the ones who are pulling the strings behind the scenes while Hollywood does some things that seem really weird, don't really make sense, or seem way too close to what people theorize is the truth. That's where I'm going with that one.
I like it. Why don't we talk about the Broadhaven Triangle over in Wales? It's another hotspot for UFO sightings and paranormal activity. Brandon, what can you tell us about the Broadhaven Triangle?
Is Broadhaven a haven for
triangles?
I'm just going to save that joke. That was a bad one.
No.
The Broadhaven Triangle gained notoriety in the 1970s when a group of school children reported seeing a silver-suited humanoid and a UFO near their school. And I've heard of this before we did the research for this. Just an offhand mention of school children seeing a silver-suited humanoid figure and UFO landing in their school's yard, basically. But this incident spawned numerous other reports from residents, including sightings of strange lights and encounters with mysterious beings. The wave of sightings led to a government investigation, but no definitive conclusions were reached. Which sounds about right when the government's involved.
What?
That's shocking, right?
Now, the Broadhaven sightings are intriguing to me because of the number of witnesses and the consistency of their accounts. It's one of those cases where the sheer volume of reports makes it more of a definite than a maybe that something truly happened there.
Yeah, I think so. Have any of you guys ever heard of any other significant sightings or encounters in the Broadhaven Triangle? We would absolutely love to hear about them in the comments, because there's tons of things in all of these triangles that there's too much for us to cover them all.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
This is our final Triangle of Terror. And we have the Nevada Triangle, a place notorious for its high number of aircraft disappearances and mysterious phenomena. Brendan, how does the Nevada Triangle stack up against the other triangles we've already discussed?
Well, just like the others, it's really fascinating to me for similar reasons. But a particular one for this is it's located near Area 51, which has long been a hotbed for conspiracy theories. People have speculated about everything from secret government experiments to extraterrestrial activity happening there. One of the most famous cases linked to the Nevada Triangle is the disappearance of Steve Fawcett in 2007. And Fawcett was a well-known aviator and adventurer. Despite a massive search operation that spanned months, his plane wasn't found until over a year later, and even then, the exact circumstances of his crash remain a mystery. Now, with that one specifically, since they recovered his craft, his plane, I am more willing to entertain, weird science-based explanations that are just maybe too many happening at the same time, where it seems too crazy to be coincidence. But maybe there's just malfunction in his equipment. Maybe there was weird magnetic something in the area. But still, nonetheless, it leaves much to mystery, where people don't really know the outcome of how that happened. And I also think it's quite funny that, a couple years back, maybe more than a couple, within the last 15 years, they did that meme raid Area 51 thing. I think that was a government psyop. I think they were trying to distract people. That's just my theory. I don't have any reason. I just think so. I just think so. But yeah, so this crash remains a mystery still.
But I agree there. I mean, they have the terrain there. That's the unpredictable weather in the region can certainly play a role in these disappearances.
Right.
But it's just the proximity to Area 51 just adds just a little extra layer to this mystery here. The idea that there might be hidden government secrets or even alien technology in the area fuels the mystery even further. Just like imagine flying over that desolate landscape and then just suddenly vanishing. Like that's just like a really scary thought.
Yeah, that is. The last thing you saw was a vast emptiness of desert. That'd be... What if he vanished through a portal and he continues to see nothing but vast emptiness for desert for the rest of his existence?
Oh my god.
That's terrifying to think about. It really is. The Nevada Triangle's combination of natural hazards and the potential for hidden government activities makes this a particularly unique case. You have to wonder, though, how many of these disappearances are simply due to the harsh environment and how many might involve something more sinister or unknown.
Good question.
I think it's a very good question, and I think I've gone off a lot about this already, so maybe we can ask the audience.
That, and also, what do you think, in general, are these disappearances in the Nevada Triangle due to natural causes, or is there something more sinister at play? We really want to hear your theories in the comments.
Yeah, please share them with us.
All right, so let's take a step back here. And let's look at the patterns and connections between the lesser known triangles that we've discussed and the more famous counterparts like the Bermuda Triangle. Now, Brandon, what similarities and differences stand out to you?
I think a major similarity is the high number of unexplained disappearances in all of these regions and the lack of debris. Mm-hmm. Whether it's planes, ships, or people, these triangles seem to be magnets for vanishings. It's like these areas have some kind of magnetic pull for strange occurrences. And even though the geographical areas themselves aren't always shaped like triangles, the locations where these mysteries happen often form a triangular shape on the map.
That is a great point. I find it particularly interesting that these regions, despite not being actual triangles, have become known as such because of the patterns of the incidents that occur within them. The Bermuda Triangle, for instance, became iconic because of the high number of disappearances within its so-called boundaries. And actually, these other lesser-known triangles, like the Nevada Triangle or the Falkirk Triangle, follow like the same concept. It's almost like there is an invisible connection between these points, creating a triangular hotspot.
What if there actually is, dude? Like
an actual, like a connection? What
if there actually is
a physical
a connection, like an invisible connection between these?
You think all the points like somehow connect to each other, or?
Yeah, what if there is? I'm not saying, I personally don't think that's the case, because then you would step through that threshold and that's the portal. But what if there is something to it, and I'm willing to accept if my hunches are wrong. You know, what if there is actually something there that we have yet, I haven't come up with the theory of, or you haven't, or another person hasn't, and that there is some sort of boundary between those triangles. What about the other common factor, the presence of UFO sightings and other paranormal activity? Like, it's really fascinating how each of these regions have their own unique set of strange phenomena, and the cultural contexts might differ between them, but the underlying mysteries seem to tie them all together. And whether it's the cryptids in the Bridgewater Triangle or UFOs in the Falkirk Triangle, there's a thread of unexplained activity running through all of these places. That narrative thread carrying through them all.
I like that. That's really like well put.
Thank you.
The idea that these regions could also have different underlying causes for their phenomena is also intriguing.
Yeah,
but it suggests while patterns might be similar, the reasons behind them could vary greatly. Maybe it's just a combination of natural factors like magnetic anomalies or the treacherous terrain, in something more mysterious, like interdimensional portals, or extraterrestrial activity. I don't know. That's up to you to decide. What do you think? Are these global triangles of terror connected in some way? Or are we looking at separate, localized phenomena? We'd love to hear your theories.
I personally think that both are possible, but I lean more towards there is a significance between the shape of the triangle of these incidents happening. Maybe it's a ritualistic thing. I have no idea. But I just think that there's definitely something connecting all these areas. And it's not just magnetic anomalies.
Just show me the evidence. If you show me the evidence, I'll stop talking about it. You know,
they could. Just to be fair, though, they could. A detractor could also say, "Show me the evidence of your theory, and we'll stop saying ours."
Exactly. I'm just going to keep talking.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
And they are going to keep talking.
Yeah,
because we're not going to come to unless we have physical proof. Then I'll shut up.
What if we never get physical proof and humanity ceases to exist?
Then in 2030, we're going to be on episode 7,000, and we're going to revisit the topics of the Falkirk Triangle first.
7,000 in 6 years?
Yeah.
I don't think we'd be that high, bro.
Yeah, we're going to be cruising.
Alrighty.
We're cruising. But let's just say that is a wrap on today's exploration of these triangles of terror. And once again, it feels like we've just only scratched the surface of these mysteries.
Absolutely. I can't help but be corny. Sorry, guys. Hopefully you enjoy it, get a little laugh out of it. Been working on my dad jokes. This concludes our 3-part series on paranormal triangles. We hope you've enjoyed diving into these topics with us.
And because your theories and comments fuel our discussions, keep them coming. And remember, the conversation doesn't end here, so don't panic. You can hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't, click that little bell, and share your thoughts below. We're eager to hear how you've connected the dots between the episodes.
And remember, if you've connected the dots and it's turned out to be a UFO picture, you're probably onto something. The exploration will continue, and we cannot wait to have you back for even more revelations. Don't miss our live stream tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for our top paranormal stories of the week, straight from our Facebook group. It's your chance to discuss all the theories we've covered, share your experiences, and even explore deeper with us live. But until then, stay curious and keep seeking the truth.
Until next time, this is Beyond the Hub podcast, where the realms of the paranormal and conspiracies collide, and the truth is waiting to be unveiled. We'll see you soon.
Take care, everyone.